I was lucky to be able to be involved in so many different aspects of this movie, not just on screen. On screen is the smallest amount of work that I did in this film, to be honest.
Justin Baldoni's wife, Emily, is breaking her silence. Amid the director's ongoing legal battle with his It Ends With Us co-star, Blake Lively, his wife, Emily, posts a special tribute to Instagram in honor of his birthday. As she writes alongside a family photo, "Happy birthday, my love. Celebrating the man, husband, and father that you are. I'd choose you again and again."
Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
It surprised me.
Who is Justin Baldoni's wife, Emily? The pair met while working in the movie industry. Then, her name was Emily Foxler, and she was born in Sweden before moving to the US in 2005. She and Justin had their first date at a cafe in LA in 2011.
No wonder Justin Baldoni had to apologize to his wife Emily on their wedding day. 3 signs reveal his true character. Justin and his wife Emily have a very stable relationship. However, on their wedding day, Justin apologized to Emily while reading his vows.
Just when you thought the drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni couldn't get any messier, boom! Lively's defense team just took things to a whole new level, dragging Baldoni's wife and family into the legal battlefield. What's really going on behind the scenes? Is this a strategic move or just plain ruthless? Stay tuned because we're breaking it all down right now. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. Do you think this feud has gone too far?
I have absolutely no feelings about this guy, Justin Baldoni. In fact, to be perfectly honest, I reviewed some of his social media, and he seems kind of ridiculous with his toxic masculinity, lamentations, and so on. But that's fine, that's me. So I'm not on his side. But my point is simply, I just don't see it. In their incendiary complaint, where they're trying to do their best to bash him and the PR team, I don't see that the second loop closed of, and then here's where they did it. It's just all supposition. They don't have these great texts saying, look what I got placed in the New York Post.
She and Justin had their first date at a cafe in LA in 2011, the same place where he proposed a little more than 2 years later.
Emily's tribute comes days after Blake and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, requested a gag order be placed on Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, for the rest of their legal proceedings.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively walked the red carpet together for the first time in months at the SNL 50th anniversary special.
It doesn't involve you, but because you're in the cast, I'm wondering what you're thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I just want people to remember why we made the movie in the first place and what it stands for, and just keeping the focus on that. Like that movie meant so much to me, and I have someone very, very close to me in my life who's gone through what Lily's going through for a long time, and I've been on the front lines helping her navigate that space. So that movie meant a lot to me. Yeah, and it means a lot to her, this person in my life, and it was one of the reasons that.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Looks like Emily Baldoni is standing by her man. Justin Baldoni's wife just gave him a heartfelt shout-out for his 41st birthday, her first public comment since the whole legal drama with Blake Lively started. If you missed it, Blake, who starred alongside Justin in It Ends With Us, sued him back in December for alleged physical and retaliation. To celebrate his big day, Emily posted a sweet photo on Instagram of them kissing by the ocean while holding their kids Maya, 9, and Maxwell, 7. She called him an amazing husband and father, saying she'd choose him again and again.
Justin Baldoni's wife, Emily, is breaking her silence. Amid the director's ongoing legal battle with his It Ends With Us co-star, Blake Lively, his wife, Emily, posts a special tribute to Instagram in honor of his birthday. As she writes alongside a family photo, "Happy birthday, my love. Celebrating the man, husband, and father that you are. I'd choose you again and again."
However, on their wedding day, Justin apologized to Emily while reading his vows. He felt that he had made some mistakes and had flaws that hurt his wife. This inevitably brings to mind the allegations against him by Blake Lively. But in reality, Justin has done many things that are completely different from the person described in the allegations. First, respect for women. Justin has been a longtime supporter of the women's movement. He often speaks up for women and girls. This reflects his courage and compassion.
Just a few days before that, The Baldoni family was spotted at LAX, heading out of Los Angeles, when a TMZ photographer caught up with Justin. He simply said he was grateful to be with the family. And where did they go? Hawaii, because later he was seen there, surfboard in hand, looking ready to ride some waves. Blake Lively's lawsuit against Justin Baldoni is getting messier by the day. She first filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, then quickly followed it up with a full-on lawsuit. In her claims, she says that she and others on the set of It Ends With Us dealt with unprofessional, invasive, and inappropriate behavior from Justin while filming the 2024 movie. But that's not all. Blake also accuses Justin of trying to ruin her reputation by hiring a crisis PR team to fight back. He, of course, isn't staying quiet. Through his lawyer, he's completely denied the allegations. And last week, he fired back hard, slapping Blake and her husband Ryan Reynolds with a $400 million lawsuit. He's accusing them of extortion, defamation, and straight up trying to destroy his name. According to Justin, it's actually Blake and her team who orchestrated this entire smear campaign against him. Blake's lawyers didn't hold back either. In a statement to E! News, they called Justin's lawsuit a classic move from the perpetrator playbook and claimed he's only doing this to cover up the real issue, her accusations of physical. But here's where things take a wild turn. Rumors are flying that Blake's case just collapsed after Justin's team dropped some major receipts, allegedly proving that she was actually cheating on Ryan Reynolds. Yep, you heard that right. Some say she only filed this lawsuit as a desperate attempt to save her marriage. And get this, word is, Ryan was actually the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. Some sources claim he pushed Blake to take legal action and even helped craft the PR attack on Justin. But here's the kicker. Most of the accusations from their side, apparently they don't even have much to do with the case, and some are reportedly straight up false. The drama just keeps getting crazier. What do you guys think? Who's really telling the truth here?
I'm not getting beard on you today.
I'm probably getting spray past you.
That's good.
Well, it's not bad. It's my body makeup.
And they win! They won!
All right, cut. I think we got plenty.
Yes.
So, was Blake really the one sneaking around behind Ryan's back? And are they already making moves to call it quits? Let's get into it. Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively have been locked in this messy back and forth for months now. And honestly, it's turning into a full-blown showdown to see who can expose who the most. But right now, it looks like Justin might be taking the lead. He just dropped a 6-minute voice note from when they were still filming It Ends With Us. It doesn't change everything, but it definitely gives some much-needed context about what was really happening behind the scenes. And here's where things get interesting. Fans are starting to think Blake may have caught feelings for Justin, but the problem? He wasn't interested. Classic case of getting way too close to a co-star, right? And now rumor has it, Blake is seriously embarrassed about the whole thing. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds isn't just sitting back and watching. Word is he wants answers because to him, it's pretty obvious. His wife has feelings for another man. And according to insiders, that is what set this entire legal mess into motion. But before we dive in deeper, let's rewind for anyone who missed how this whole thing started. It all kicked off on December 20th, 2024, when Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, Wayfarer Studios, the company behind It Ends With Us, his publicist Jamie Heath, and Steve Sarowitz. In an 80-page document, she accused them of breaching her contract and creating a toxic work environment. She even claimed Justin and his team were actively trying to destroy her reputation. Then, just a day later, the New York Times dropped a bombshell article titled, "We Can Bury Anyone: Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine." The expose went all in on Justin and his team, accusing them of trying to silence Blake and make her seem unstable, so she wouldn't be able to speak out about what really happened on set. And that's when things really started spiraling.
I was lucky to be able to be involved in so many different aspects of this movie, not just on screen. On screen is the smallest amount of work that I did in this film, to be honest. I took the relationships with my mother or my sisters or my children and my feelings, and I mean it's all over this film. and in ways that nobody will ever know, and I'll never tell anybody. But when I sit in that theater with my loved ones, they see themselves all over this film, moments we've had together, things we've said to each other, and I think that's why I feel so proud, and it's so personal to me.
Justin Baldoni wasn't about to sit back and let that happen. He clapped back hard, filing a massive $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times. His argument? The article was basically just a copy-paste of Blake's claims, with zero effort to fact-check the other side of the story. But that's not even the craziest part. Justin says he has proof that Blake and the Times straight up twisted text messages and emails, leaving out important details to make him look bad. Apparently, they even cropped out emojis and specific parts of conversations just to fit their version of events. The Times, of course, isn't backing down. They're standing by their reporting, saying it's all solid and well-researched.
Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. And then she wanted to, ixnayed all of the wardrobe choices, because when you're making a movie about a poor woman who's suffering from domestic violence, you want her to look like she has money.
Right.
That Blake said.
That's what she did.
She looks like she has money.
Yep.
And she's dressing in florals. And then she's going on this press tour, pushing her liquor line.
It's insane.
And her hair care line, because that's what women who are trying to escape with their lives are worried about.
That's what generated her negative press and led to a series of clips of her being insensitive in one way, shape, or form with other interviewers in the past. She has no one to blame but herself for that.
The press tour is part of that pay package.
Right.
You have to show up with a smile on your face and be polite to people who are not lobbing, difficult questions at you. They're softball.
And Justin didn't stop there. He took things even further, going after Blake and Ryan Reynolds with a huge $400 million countersuit. He's accusing them of defamation and extortion, claiming Blake completely made up stories just to shift the blame when her public image started tanking. On top of that, he says Blake and Ryan took over the film's production and marketing, then used their media connections to push false accusations against him and other people on the team. Now let's talk about Ryan Reynolds for a second, because according to some sources, he might be the real puppet master here, pulling strings behind the scenes to make sure Justin is painted as the villain in Blake's lawsuit.
Wait, do you guys remember the interview that Ryan took over for It Ends With Us?
It's not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy.
I don't remember seeing this on the schedule.
Let's dive in, shall we? So I saw you posing in a photo with Mrs. Reynolds, and I'm sorry, what do you call her? Do you guys have a nickname or something? Okay, no, just so it's Mrs. Okay. Anyway, I saw this photo. It was very suggestive.
It looked like he was just trying to be funny, but now with everything coming out, people believe that maybe he was the one who was trying to hijack the whole entire movie, including the marketing. And then Candace Owens posts this on her story today, which is really making him look bad. She put this on her Instagram story, and she's basically saying that the true villain of this whole entire saga is Ryan Reynolds. And allegedly, the tip came from somebody who worked on the set with them. I mean, that's what we need. We need more people coming out and talking about what really happened. Now, if any of that is true, I just want to know what's going to happen to him when A Simple Favor 2 is released.
Blake even dragged up an old text from August 2024, where Justin allegedly told his publicists that his business partner, Steve Sarowitz, wanted to flip the script. The idea? Spread a rumor that Ryan was involved in the movie's script in a way that made him look anti-feminist.
She insisted that the costume department pack up wardrobe and deliver it to her personal residence. Her home was 15 minutes away from where they had all the wardrobe set up in Manhattan. 15 minutes. And instead she said, no, I want the entire team to load all of this onto huge trucks and bring it to my apartment at considerable time and expense of all these professionals. And also it's just like, it's not even about money. It's rude. It's rude to these people.
It's 100% rude. Also, just to set the scene, everybody, when you go to a fitting, there are racks and racks and racks of clothing. Like, we're not just talking about one clothing rack and they're like, let's try this all on. We're talking about like 8 to 10 clothing racks of things that a stylist has sourced. And so it's a huge ask to have that literally shuttled to her apartment. It's the type of request that's so extreme that it's like, well, this would have had to been in your contract at the beginning for us to do this for you. And also, if you want to be a producer, you want to make the film more efficient, you're going to help this film cross the finish line and be on budget. Why are you making it more expensive and less efficient?
But then, plot twist, Justin's team hit back with their own bombshell. They released a 6-minute voice recording of a late-night conversation between Justin and Blake. At first, it just sounds like Justin apologizing for not taking her script suggestions seriously. But if you listen closely, there's way more to the story. And trust me, this drama is far from over. All right, let's rewind for a second because this voice note from Justin Baldoni, yeah, it doesn't just come out of nowhere.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew. Wow. There's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just going to send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not going to be more than a few minutes. But I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. And I'm really sorry. I for sure fell short. And you worked really hard on that. And the way you framed it and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust.
Apparently, Blake Lively had just pulled out some serious threats, basically telling Justin she had some heavy hitters on her side. And by heavy hitters, we're talking Taylor Swift and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. She even compared herself to Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. And if you've seen the show, you know what that means. Dragons. And Khaleesi's dragons? Yeah, they burn everything and everyone in their path.
Now you see text messages in this lawsuit from Blake Lively comparing herself to the heroine of Game of Thrones, the fiercest female character we've seen in years, Khaleesi. That's her riding her dragon. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones. And that's what Blake Lively says in a text message, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. That's, again, believed to be the other person. And that they are powerful advocates for her. And while it seems to be said like, I'm so lucky that I have them as great storytellers to help me rewrite this script, what Brian Friedman alleges is, you'll go along or I'll unleash my dragons on you, you loser.
You stand in the presence of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, rightful heir to the Iron Throne, rightful Queen of the Andals and the First Men, protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the mother of dragons, the Khaleesi of...
So was Blake low-key warning Justin that she could destroy his career if she wanted to? Well, she told him she saw herself as Khaleesi, surrounded by her dragons, fierce protectors who stood by her and fought for the people she cared about. And she reassured him that these gorgeous monsters of hers could be beneficial to him too. Now, let's be real. When someone like Blake, who has Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds in her corner, starts talking about having powerful allies, people are going to read between the lines. She never outright said it, but the message seemed pretty clear. If Justin didn't play along, she had the connections to make his life very difficult. And that's why Justin sent that late-night voice note. It was 2 a.m., and he started by hoping he wasn't waking her up. He admitted he had a lot to say and suggested they FaceTime or meet in person to talk things out. He even laughed about how neither of them was exactly great at keeping voice messages short. But then, he got serious. He told Blake that after reading the second half of her message, he felt awful. He admitted he had messed up, let her down, and didn't acknowledge the effort she put into her work. He thanked her for being open with him about how she felt. He saw that as a sign of trust.
And share that with me. And I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I'm a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm gonna f*** up. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize and find my way back to center. That is one thing I can assure you of.
Justin didn't try to sugarcoat anything. He took full responsibility, saying he wasn't perfect, something he joked his wife could definitely confirm. He admitted he says the wrong thing sometimes, probably upsets people without meaning to. But no matter what, he would always own up to his mistakes and try to make things right. He made it clear he felt bad about how everything had played out and promised to do better.
We all didn't like the way this film was being marketed. Yeah. Okay? We all thought it was cringe. And Blake was in that video being rude to the reporter. And also there was the video of her saying something about I think the reporter asked her, like, how can fans connect with you about with this character or something? And she's like, okay, do you want me to share my location or something? She's just very sarcastic and snarky and just didn't come across well. I will just say this. It really reminds me of Housewives. A lot of times what they say is like, you can blame a bad edit, like Blake's trying to blame this smear campaign. Yeah. But they can't show things you didn't say. Correct. And in a lot of these clips and like evidence of Blake being cringe and being rude, Blake did those things. And Blake did use the film as a moment to launch a hair care business. Right. And promoting her brand, Betty Buzz, it's just not a good look when you're promoting also a film about domestic violence. Well, I think too, it was just a lot of like all about Blake, all about how this is how I styled it. This is my hair care line, my Betty Buzz, whatever. It was just a lot about her and how this was her vision. And I think people felt like that it didn't land for people.
And when it came to Blake's friends, Justin had nothing but love. He told her that if she felt so strongly about them, they were obviously amazing people. He even said her creative energy around them was next level, and he couldn't stop thinking about how incredible they all were together.
And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that. And we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they're two of the most creative people on the planet.
So here's another twist in the drama. Blake Lively accused Justin Baldoni of being inappropriate during a slow dance scene. According to her, he randomly told her, "It smells so good," which, yeah, had nothing to do with the actual scene they were filming. But then Justin's team clapped back by releasing behind-the-scenes footage from that exact moment. And let's just say, it definitely adds some context. In the clip, Justin does make that comment, but it wasn't totally out of nowhere. It actually happened right after Blake asked if her body tan was rubbing off on him. Watching the footage, the whole exchange comes off way more playful, almost like they were joking around and throwing compliments back and forth.
This text from Blake Lively is insane. If you knew me in person longer, you'd have a sense of how flirty and yummy the ball busting would play. It's my love language, spicy and playfully bold, never with teeth. What?
It's a crazy text.
What are you insinuating? Like, is that a joke? Yeah. I was blown away reading it. I really was blown away, and honestly, weirded out. We're dealing with a weird on our hands because this crazy.
That said, some people still feel like Blake wasn't totally comfortable with how physical Justin was in that scene. It's not exactly damning evidence, but it does raise the question, was he crossing a line? At the same time, people are starting to side-eye Blake and Ryan because it's looking more and more like they'll do whatever it takes to shut Justin down.
One of the key allegations in her complaint against Justin Baldoni was as follows, okay, from paragraph 48 of her complaint. She writes, on another occasion, Mr. Baldoni and Ms. Lively were filming a slow dance scene for a montage in which no sound was recorded. Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. Instead, he spoke to Ms. Lively out of character as himself. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly his lips from her ear and down her neck as he said, "It smells so good." None of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue in the script, and nothing needed to be said because, again, there was no sound. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Ms. Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. When Ms. Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you." Well, guess what? TMZ has gotten its hands on that video, and you can hear Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni interacting as themselves, knowing that this is all on video and that this is going to be used to create this dance scene, and no such moment is shown.
And speaking of shutting him down, right after Justin's team leaked that behind-the-scenes clip and the voice memo, Blake and Ryan took legal action. They filed a gag order against Justin and his lawyer, Brian Friedman, to stop them from talking about the case publicly.
Oh my Shush, we don't shut up.
And Emily and I have we have these moments where
Staring? You just stare.
literally we've done it for like 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. He's literally
You're talking about their spouses.
each other, and like
When I
time
found a sociopath.
and like time stops.
Yeah.
But like that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my God, there's not enough time.
And they score again.
No. It's like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you something else.
I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute. I feel so nosy.
They're acting like lovers.
And my nose is so big.
Yes. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then
Deal with your big nose.
Just kidding.
Okay, there. Okay, so he puts his like head in her neck.
I'm not getting beard on you today.
And says, am I getting beard on you?
It smells good.
Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
Right. And then says, smells good. And she says, it's my body makeup. That's her big moment. They are playfully acting for the camera, trying to make it look like two lovers, two people in a relationship, are dancing with one another.
Justin and his lawyer haven't directly commented on the gag order, but a source close to him isn't happy about it. They called it grossly unfair, especially since Justin had already been by the New York Times, an article that supposedly cost him 3 jobs and hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's where things started to look a little suspicious. If Blake and Ryan are so sure they're in the right, why are they scrambling to silence Justin? Wouldn't they want everything out in the open so people could see the truth for themselves? The timing of all this is way too convenient. Something definitely feels off here.
Boots were mine. There's these great Louboutins that are also a close-up on them when we're dancing in the bar. Those are mine. I have a few of my husband's shirts and socks randomly in the movie. I have some of Gigi Hadid's sweaters in the movie.
The chemistry with Justin also was off the charts. I mean, really, truly,
really important. You're supposed to, tell a story well and make people feel, but you're also supposed to do it in a way that.
So there's a theory floating around that Blake Lively didn't just file this lawsuit just because of Justin Baldoni, but to distract everyone from her own bad press. Right around the time It Ends With Us hit theaters, Blake was busy promoting 2 new businesses, her hair care line and her alcohol brand. And let's just say, people weren't happy. The hair care line was one thing, but launching an alcohol brand while starring in a movie about domestic maltreatment? Yeah, that didn't sit right with a lot of people. And just when things couldn't get worse, old interviews of Blake started resurfacing. Ones where she made some pretty cringeworthy and out-of-touch comments. That only added fuel to the fire, making her look even more out of touch.
Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. And then she wanted to, ixnayed all of the wardrobe choices, because when you're making a movie about a poor woman who's suffering from domestic violence, you want her to look like she has money.
Right.
That Blake said.
That's what she did.
She looks like she has money.
Yep.
And she's dressing in florals. And then she's going on this press tour, pushing her liquor line and her hair care line, because that's what women who are trying to escape with their lives are worried about.
That's what generated her negative press and led to a series of clips of her being insensitive in one way, shape, or form with other interviewers in the past. She has no one to blame but herself for that.
The press tour is part of that pay package.
Right.
You have to show up with a smile on your face and be polite to people who are not lobbing, difficult questions at you. They're softball.
Congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What is the next
What does
5
that
years
mean?
Well,
Did
yeah.
you see the movie?
I did see the movie. But I mean,
so if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this?
Like asking for my address or my phone number or my location share. Or I could just location share you and then we could,
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I'm gonna put it here because it doesn't go with my outfit, but I will wear it later.
Has been the best part in making this particular movie?
I've noticed so many beautiful
crystals on teeth. Is that a big fashion thing?
What has been the best part about making this particular film?
I mean,
about teeth gems.
yes, that was really the highlight. Why is Deadpool Wolverine sold out? I'm sorry, I got distracted back there.
Rings. Rings also are like my comfort blanket. It's just a very expensive comfort blanket. I should like Snuggies instead as a comfort blanket. Instead I like Lorraine Schwartz.
This movie, I think that like when you see it, it feels like a big, beautiful summer movie, but like we didn't have any budget.
Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out.
But let's be real, a lot of people still think this whole legal battle has way more to do with her feelings for Justin and how things went south when Ryan Reynolds found out. There's even this one interview from the press tour that keeps making the rounds. In the clip, Blake gets noticeably flustered when the interviewer asks about teaching Justin how to be intimate with her on set. The awkwardness? Next level. So is this really about justice, or is it just one massive distraction? You tell me. So where does this lawsuit even stand right now? Well, the latest update is wild, and it involves Ryan Reynolds cracking jokes about it on national TV. Over the weekend, Reynolds and Blake Lively made an appearance at the SNL 50 special, and let's just say people were not expecting what happened next. During a segment where Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were taking audience questions, Reynolds stood up. They greeted him with a casual, "How's it going?" And his response, "Great. Why? What have you heard?"
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Hi.
Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Yes, you will. So on the show today, for those of you guys that watched, I had said that looking at the SNL situation, it was my professional opinion that what we were watching was something that was concocted entirely by Ryan Reynolds because I just see him.
Now, if you've been keeping up with the drama, you know exactly what that joke was about. The crowd caught on immediately, laughing in surprise. And Blake? At first it was all smiles sitting next to him, but the second Reynolds hinted at the legal mess with Justin Baldoni, her face completely changed. Eyes wide, looking totally caught off guard. Of course, it was all part of a planned bit, and moments later she was laughing along with everyone else. But not everyone found it funny. Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, was shocked that Reynolds would make light of the situation, especially since Blake has accused Justin of physical On a podcast appearance for Hot Mics with Bill Bush, Friedman said he couldn't think of any other situation where someone's wife had allegedly been and the husband was out here joking about it on live TV.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been and has made jokes.
Meanwhile, Justin himself is currently in Hawaii with his wife, Emily Baldoni, and their 2 kids. But according to Friedman, this isn't some tropical getaway. He made it clear that Justin isn't on vacation, he's just trying to take a step back, be with his family, and find some kind of peace in the middle of this storm.
We've heard about the lawsuits. We know that Blake Lively is married to Ryan Reynolds, but who is Justin Baldoni's wife, Emily? The pair met while working in the movie industry. Then, her name was Emily Foxler, and she was born in Sweden before moving to the US in 2005. She and Justin had their first date at a cafe in LA in 2011, the same place where he proposed a little more than 2 years later. And at this point, I'm sure we've all seen the infamous proposal. You're welcome. A few months after that, they were married and now they have 2 kids. Okay, but as for what she's been in acting-wise, we did a little sleuthing on our IMDb page and found that she was in several TV shows. My personal favorite being the fact that she was in Jesse McCartney's 2006 music video called Just So You Know. Justin and Emily have also shared the screen together, most notably in Jane the Virgin when she made a few appearances. She's also been in a few of the things that her husband has directed, like It Ends With Us, Clouds, and 5 Feet Apart. Aside from her acting career, she's also the co-founder of a maternity brand. And I think that's it for now.
In January, a federal judge in New York told both sides to gear up for trial, set for March 2026. But right after that, Blake and Ryan's legal team made a move, filing paperwork to try and get Justin's countersuit dismissed. And just days before the first court hearing, Justin's team launched a whole website filled with legal documents about the case. One of the key claims? That the New York Times allegedly had access to Blake's lawsuit 11 days before they published their bombshell report. The newspaper, of course, denied it, saying the filings were rife with inaccuracies. Meanwhile, Blake's legal team isn't wasting any time either. According to Us Weekly, they've sent subpoenas to AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile demanding access to Justin's phone records. At this point, the drama is escalating fast, and it's pretty clear this legal battle is just getting started. Now it's your turn. Are you Team Justin or Team Blake? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to check out our next video. And before you go, smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the latest drama.